While I was hurriedly looking for my shoes, my mom was constantly shouting downstairs, "Hurry up, Emma! Mrs. Smith's party has already started! You're making us late!" At that moment, Susan suddenly appeared with my shoes on her feet. She took them without telling me. I tried to yank my shoes back, but she firmly resisted. That brat even loudly cried for help, and in the end, I got scolded heavily by Mom for being selfish and not sharing things with my sister. Hi, I'm Emma Wilson, 16 years old. I have an older sister who is 2 years older than me, named Susan. Although we're sisters, we have nothing in common. While Susan is beautiful, feminine, and always strives to be perfect, I'm the rebellious tomboy who likes to be wild. Because of this difference, the two of us were often compared with each other. People loved Susan more and saw me as her shadow. At Mrs. Smith's party, while Susan was having fun with everyone, I felt extremely resentful. I sat in a corner and tried to ignore her. But then, I suddenly received an SOS message from Susan. She asked me to go to the toilet immediately because there was an emergency. As I knocked on the bathroom door, Susan pulled me inside with a panicked look. "Emma, help me! I swear I'll be forever grateful to you." "What are you talking about?" "I just clogged Mrs. Smith's toilet. I would die if anyone knew." I almost threw up when I saw my sister's accident scene and was about to leave in disgust, but her miserable face softened me. In that cramped toilet, we tried all sorts of ways to make that thing shall not be named go away, but it didn't work. "Susan, go and get another toilet plunger. One is not enough." She nodded vigorously and quickly left. So, while my sister was looking for another plunger, I stayed alone to find a way to deal with that more horrible than a murderous scene. But then, somehow, the water in the toilet suddenly overflowed. I panicked and ran out of the bathroom. Unfortunately, as soon as I opened the door, I bumped into Mrs. Smith, causing both of us to fall to the floor. Everyone in the party turned their eyes to us. "Oh my God, it's terrible! Emma, what did you do with my toilet?" I looked bewilderedly at Susan for help, but she lowered her face and quickly hit the toilet plunger. My mom apologized profusely to Mrs. Smith and angrily dragged me out of the party. Although Susan later apologized to me, every time I remembered her betrayal at that time, I couldn't find it in my heart to forgive her. Our relationship slowly got worse. And then, everything went south on Valentine's Day last year. When I brought a box of chocolates to my crush Tony, I saw him confessing to Susan in front of everyone at school. How the hell could the guy I have been chasing for 2 years, even signing up for a carpentry class just to get close to him, liked my sister? I sighed in frustration and left angrily. When I was about to throw my chocolates in the trash, I was surprised to find that there was also a gift box inside. Looks like I was not the only one who got their heart broken that day. I looked around curiously and saw Nick, a nerdy student sitting on a stone bench while hugging his head. I rarely talked to him, but I knew we were pretty similar. Both Nick and I were considered unattractive to the opposite gender. After thinking for a while, I walked over to Nick and started the conversation. "What a bad day, isn't it? Nothing goes right. Please leave. I don't want to see another Wilson today." "Why?" After a while, Nick finally spoke up. As it turned out, he liked my sister Susan and was planning to confess to her, but unexpectedly, she had accepted Tony's confession. I laughed bitterly when I realized how similar we were and told him my story. Nick gave me a long, tired look. Jeez, ordinary people like us will never get what we want. Hearing his disheartening words made me feel very disgruntled. No, we can't give up now. We haven't tried our best yet. So, I asked Nick to team up with me to destroy that new couple. Thus, both of us would get our crush back. At first, he seemed hesitant about that plan, but at my persuasion, he finally agreed. We started seeing each other more often, and together, we scrutinized Tony and Susan's bad qualities. I believe that if they saw the ugly sides of each other, they would soon break up. With 2 years of experience pursuing Tony, I knew that he was very afraid of ghosts. So, Nick and I quickly devised a plan to make him lose face in front of his girlfriend. That night, when Tony and Susan stayed late at school, Nick and I disguised ourselves to scare the hell out of Tony. When he saw us, he screamed like a little girl and hugged my sister tightly. It was hilarious, but what we didn't expect was that the security guard also appeared at that moment. Nick and I panicked and hid in the warehouse. When the guard was gone, we slowly came out, but unfortunately, Nick discovered that the door was locked. We tried many ways, but it didn't budge. As a result, we were locked inside all night. In the cold of the evening, Nick suddenly approached me and gave me his shirt.
Put it on, it'll keep you warm.
How about you?
I'm fine, I can't let a girl sit in the cold.
I blushed at his words. Nick's action impressed me greatly. In the end, our scare didn't change Tony and Susan's feelings, but it did give me a strange feeling for Nick. Over the next few weeks, Nick and I grew closer. I gradually forgot my original plan and just wanted to be with him. But then, once again, life played tricks on me. A few weeks later, Susan unexpectedly unfollowed Tony on Instagram. It seemed like they had officially broken up. I should be happy with that, but somehow I felt very uncomfortable. That day, Nick and I had a conversation.
Hey, Emma, do you think should I take this opportunity to approach Susan?
I really wanted to stop Nick, but I didn't have the courage to say it out loud, so I remained silent. A few days later, Nick started talking to Susan, and in just a short time, the two of them became close. Great! Our plan worked fabulously. We had no reason to see each other anymore. About a week later, Nick suddenly informed me that he had asked Susan on a date. That night, when I saw my sister preparing for her night out, my heart sank heavily. Are you going on a date? Yep, I have a movie date with Nick today. Do you know him? Despite being a nerd, he's much more interesting than Tony. Her reply made my heart sink. She seemed to have feelings for Nick too. Moments after Susan left, I felt extremely insecure. I realized I had fallen in love with Nick and I really enjoyed being with him. So I went to the cinema. I just knew I had to go. And when I got there, I was surprised to find that only Susan was waiting at the entrance. Why are you here? Aren't you with Nick? Emma? Nick told me that you and him teamed up to ruin my relationship with Tony. Is that true? I embarrassedly bowed my head apologetically to Susan. Because of my jealousy, I had caused her trouble. Not only that, I had realized the real person I had fallen for. When Susan heard that, she smiled. Nick told me the same thing. He said he liked you and was probably waiting for you at home. I hurried back home to find Nick waiting for me at the door. We shyly looked at each other and confessed our feelings. Then Nick suddenly planted a kiss on my lips. That was what I had been looking for a long time.